Hello there guys and welcome back to a brand new video. Now as you can tell by the title and the thumbnail, I'm going to be going over what kind of game modes I'd like to see come to instant action in the future. Obviously instant action releases next week, and obviously we're just getting the kind of the conquest style mode with the Clone Wars. But before I go into what modes I'd like to see and what freedom we get for players, if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and don't forget to turn on notifications as well, just to click the bell, just in case you miss any of my streams or videos. So diving straight into the modes, I've kind of got 6 that I'd like to see off the top of my head. The first of which I'm going to talk about is Extraction. The reason I'm talking about this is because there's not really a lot I can say, to be honest. I think it's a really fun mode, but the fact that it's only got 2 maps at the moment in the game is really frustrating because it is such a fun mode to play. But I feel like this would provide a lot of joy and a lot of fun for single players. It's a game mode where online it can be pretty fast paced, and I feel like for a lot of single player users out there it might not quite be what they're looking for, but then if they brought that to the single player it would be a lot more suitable for them. Just needs more maps on there really. I think if they did that, then Extraction on instant action would be a lot of fun. Next up, we've obviously got another one similar to Extraction in some ways, where the fact that you won't really be able to change anything with this one though, but with Galactic Assault I'd like to see that come to the single player. That single player story element that Galactic Assault could have in instant action would be, I think, really suitable. Obviously the online multiplayer isn't for everyone, but there's the story aspect with Galactic Assault which I feel like is a really appealing part of the mode. I feel like it's an essential piece. So for single player players, having that on instant action I feel like would be really beneficial for them. Obviously having it on all maps and obviously future maps to come. If they could make it work for Felucia as well, that would be amazing. I'd love to see that come to Galactic Assault anyway, but if we could get that in the single player instant action as well, I feel like having that kind of conquest style mode, the non-linear gameplay with the linear story mode gameplay as well with Galactic Assault, I feel like right there you've already got 2 amazing options that should provide players for a long time to come. So far I've obviously talked about Extraction and Galactic Assault, both of which I feel like would be great additions into the instant action mode. However, you can't really change a lot of the options around with these apart from maybe player counts. But the next one I'm going to be talking about is where you get a lot more freedom, I think, which is going to be Blast. So obviously Blast is just basically team deathmatch with all the classes and reinforcements. I feel like this on arcade, it could be pretty fun, and you can have a play around with the options, choosing which classes are available, how many players, up to like 16 per side maybe. Obviously it's going to be on all maps, of course. That's something I should probably point out as well, is every mode I talk about here I want it on all maps, apart from maybe there's one which won't be on all of them, but should hopefully be on quite a few. But yeah, Blast I think could be a lot of fun. You can change up a lot of options here. You could have it where it's just like reinforcements only, or just jetpack troopers, for example. So you could have like 16 versus 16 of just rocket troopers. And I feel like that could be a lot of fun. It could provide players with a ton of different options, and obviously a lot of playtime I think with just having these different options. It should be really interesting. But anyway, moving on to the next one would be Heroes versus Villains. Again, you can change the options here. How many players are on at one time? Obviously, we've got 10 heroes so far, so I feel like you can change it from like having only 4 people to 10 people. I think that would be awesome. Obviously, with the original Battlefront 2, there was Heroes versus Villains where you just had, I can't remember how many players it was, but you had like a lot of people just running around as sometimes the same heroes, and it's just a lot of fun to just fight around it Mos Eisley. I feel like having that in this game would be really interesting. Obviously with instant action next week with the conquest mode, we are having AI heroes, so I feel like it's something that you could definitely look into, and I think that would also be a lot of fun. Next up, we're going to be talking about some hunt modes. Obviously at the moment in the game we've got Ewok Hunt, which me personally is a lot of fun, really enjoy the mode, but I don't quite play it enough, and I feel like this can really bleed onto the online as well, where if we got more forms of hunt, we could just have one mode called hunts where it's Ewok Hunt, Wampa Hunt, all these other things. But basically I'd like to see more forms of hunt actually come to the instant action side of things as well. If it was, say, Geonosian Hunt, where there are clone troopers trying to survive against Geonosians, or rebel troopers trying to survive against Wampas, maybe even like the kind of blast type scenarios on Mos Eisley, for example, where you had Jowls versus Tusken Raiders. I think that could also be a lot of fun as well. But just having more forms of hunt in the game would be a ton of fun. It's kind of got that more arcadey feel to it. You just have a laugh, really, and I think having those in the online multiplayer as well could really, really help benefit the game as well, and I just love to see that personally. But lastly is going to be, this is kind of my favourite option. It's something I thought about the other day, and I think having this would be awesome, and that mode is Capture the Flag. Again, like Hunt, you've kind of got that more arcadey style of things. It would really change up the game, but the way this would work is, I think it, for me personally, I'd like to see it where you're, let's say, the Republic against the Separatists, like in the Battlefront 2 footage now, but both teams having a flag, and the team with the most flags captured will win, essentially. So the Republic will have to go get the Separatist flag, bring it back to their base. Likewise, the Separatists will have to go to the Republic base, get their flag, and take it back to their base, so obviously the Separatist side. I feel like having that in the single player, again, I've said this a lot, would be a lot of fun. It could just be really interesting, you know, it would provide gameplay experiences that we've never seen on the Battlefront before, I think. Obviously, we've kind of got that similar thing with jetpack cargo. Obviously, that's just one flag in the middle, but that for me was a lot of fun, and I think having that kind of capture the flag element in the instant action could just be a really, really great addition. I feel like with the options you could change here as well is you could set it so that maybe there's a timer, or whatever flags get up to, you know, whatever team gets to 5 flags first wins, or something like that. Player count is obviously going to be something as well, and maybe just the option to either have, like, so I think it's 2 flag capture the flag, or 1 flag capture the flag. So 2 flag is basically where both sides have a flag and you have to steal the other teams, or you can just have 1 flag capture flag, which is like jetpack cargo, where there's 1 flag in the middle and you have to take that back to your base. I feel like having that would be really, really cool. Anyway, they're the 6 modes I think would be great additions to Star Wars Battlefront 2's instant action, some of which could definitely fall into the online as well. But that was Extraction, Blast, Galactic Assault, Heroes vs Villains, more forms of hunt, and Capture the Flag. That's going to be it though, guys. Let me know what you think of these modes in the comments below. Don't forget to share this around as well. I want to see how many people will like to see these modes in instant actions, and what other modes they'd like to see as well. But like I said, that's the end of this video. Thank you all very much for watching, and may the force be with you always.